The hangar was quiet, the kind of quiet that only happens after a long flight line shuts down for the night. The A-10 Thunderbolt II, the Warthog, sat in the center, its massive GAU-8 Avenger cannon still warm from test firing earlier that afternoon. Most of the crew had gone home. Only the night shift remained. Near the nose of the aircraft, a woman in grease-stained overalls wiped down the cannon's housing. Her movements, steady, deliberate, practiced. Her name was Staff Sergeant Lena Ward, though most people simply called her Ward. She never complained, never bragged, never talked much at all. To most, she was just another quiet Air Force mechanic who worked harder than anyone else and spoke less than everyone. But tonight, something unusual was about to unfold. That as Lena climbed down the maintenance stand with a rag in her hand. The crew chief, Master Sergeant Cole Harris, walked into the hangar carrying paperwork. He barely glanced at her at first, just another airman finishing a late-night job. But then his eyes landed on something he had never seen before. A patch, not a normal unit patch. Not a maintenance badge, a black and silver emblem worn on the upper sleeve of her right arm. Something rarely seen outside classified circles. Harris stopped walking. His breath caught. His eyes narrowed in disbelief. It wasn't possible, was it? He slowly stepped closer. Ward, where did you get that patch? She froze for a moment, not because she was scared, but because she instantly knew the question was coming. She had hoped no one would notice. Not tonight. Not in this hangar. Not while her guard was down. It's old, she said quietly. From a previous assignment. Harris stared at her, stunned. Previous assignment. Ward, that's not just a patch. That's the insignia for the Brimstone Squadron, the A-10 Combat Rescue Escort Unit that flew the deadliest missions in Afghanistan. He swallowed. Only 8 pilots earned that insignia. 6 were killed in action. The 7th retired, and the 8th, he paused. The 8th disappeared from all records. Lena didn't respond. She simply kept wiping the cannon, her expression unreadable. Harrod's voice softened as realization settled in. Ward, are you telling me you were Brimstone 8? For a long moment, the only sound in the hangar was the faint echo of metal cooling on the 10's frame. Then she sighed. I was. Harris took a step back, shocked, but Brimstone 8 was a legend. The pilot who flew alone into the valley during Operation Iron Dust, the one who stayed overhead for 27 minutes after taking direct fire just to protect a trapped rescue team. The one they said landed with so many holes in the aircraft that maintenance stopped counting. He looked at her uniform again, the stripes, the grease, the worn boots. You're a mechanic now. She nodded, double quotes by choice. Harris shook his head, overwhelmed. Why would someone like you step away from flying? She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she walked to the nose of the A-10 and placed her hand on the cold metal. Because combat changes people, she said softly. It gives you victories the world celebrates, and memories only you carry. After Iron Dust, I put in for reassignment. I didn't want command. I didn't want medals. I just wanted to stay close to the aircraft that kept me alive. Her voice thickened. But she didn't let emotion spill. This aircraft saved every man on the ground that day, and it saved me. So I decided, if I couldn't fly anymore, I'd make sure every A-10 that does go out is ready to protect someone else. Harris felt his throat tighten. You've been here almost a year, he said slowly. None of us knew. I didn't want you to, she replied with a faint smile. Titles fade. Stories fade. But service never does. Right then, the hangar door rumbled open. A young airman walked in, holding a clipboard, clueless about the moment he was interrupting. Tomorrow's sortie schedule. He stopped mid-sentence when he saw the look on Harris' face. Harris didn't look away from Lena. Airman, do you know who you've been working next to this whole time? The airman shook his head. No, Chief, just Sergeant Ward. Harris exhaled. This Sergeant Ward flew one of the most dangerous missions in A-10 history. She's Brimstone 8. The clipboard almost slipped from the airman's hands. Suddenly, every noise in the hangar faded. Everyone looked at Lena with new eyes, not as the quiet mechanic who kept to herself, but as the warrior who once carried entire rescue teams on her wings. Lena raised her hand gently. Stop, please. I don't want that kind of attention. Harris nodded slowly. Fair enough, but just know this. From now on, no one in this hangar will ever look at you the same way again. Lena smiled, small, humble, powerful. I don't need them to look at me differently. I just need them to take pride in their work. Every bolt they tighten, every inspection they do, it matters. Because somewhere out there, someone depends on that aircraft the way I once did. She picked up her rag again and continued cleaning the cannon, as if nothing had happened. Harris stood there for a moment, watching her, this quiet legend hiding in plain sight, and whispered to himself, heroes don't always disappear. Sometimes they just choose to serve in silence. And in that hangar, under the soft glow of fluorescent lights reflecting off the A-10's rugged frame, the truth settled like a sacred weight. Greatness doesn't always stand on a stage. Sometimes it kneels beside an aircraft, wiping down a cannon, carrying stories the world will never fully know.